Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be really taking a deep dive into teamwork.
Ooh, teamwork.
But with a bit of a twist.
Okay.
You know, we always hear about collaboration.
Right.
But what about co-creation?
Interesting.
We've got this really insightful article by Dennis Hambukers over on Medium.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one.
And it got us thinking,
Yeah.
what are the real differences between these two approaches?
Yeah, and how can we actually, use these ideas to make our teams, way more effective?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially if you're, working in an agile environment. This deep dive is going to be full of those...
light bulb moments.
Exactly. Light bulb moments. So
Let's jump in.
Okay,
Yeah.
So, when we talk about collaboration,
Collaboration.
it seems pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah, and on the surface, it's working together.
We've been together.
But Dennis kind of digs a little deeper
He does.
and points out that the word collaboration itself
Okay.
comes from the Latin col and laborar.
Huh. Interesting.
So it's not just about...
So there's more to it.
Yeah, it's not just about, a bunch of people working side by side. It actually suggests that each person comes in with their own,
Agendas.
Exactly. Agendas, goals, and...
Sometimes those goals,
they don't always align.
they clash. And we've all been in those meetings
Oh, tell me about it.
where collaboration feels more like a competition.
Yes. Everyone trying to
Get their ideas heard.
get their ideas heard, exactly. And that's where Dennis brings up this idea of,
Power plays.
power plays, yeah.
Those little tactics people use
Oh, yeah.
to kind of push their own agenda forward.
For example, have you ever noticed those people who...
Oh, the information hoarders?
Yes.
Hmm.
They hold on to information. They only share what they want.
And when they want.
Exactly. It's all about,
Manipulation.
yeah, influencing decisions in their favor.
And it just creates this awful atmosphere.
So much distrust. It's terrible.
You can't get anything done.
Yeah, and it really prevents the team from reaching its,
Full potential.
full potential. It's no longer about the best outcome for everyone. It's about individual wins.
And those individual wins.
They might not be what the team actually needs.
Right. So this is where co-creation comes in.
Right, so how is co-creation different?
Yeah. How does it change things?
Well, Dennis suggests it's about...
Shifting the focus.
Yes. It's not just working together. It's about creating something new together.
Together.
That's a subtle but powerful distinction.
I like that. And I think to really illustrate this, we should look at this research from Google Ventures.
Oh, yeah, the sprint methodology.
The sprint methodology.
Yeah.
They really highlight what makes co-creation successful.
They do. They really break it down.
So tell me more about the sprint methodology.
Okay, so one of the core principles of sprint and co-creation in general
All right.
is this idea of a shared vision.
Shared vision. I like that.
Everyone on the team, they need to be on the same page.
Same page.
They understand the goal. They agree on it.
So no more conflicting agendas.
Exactly. It's about unity, purpose.
And that minimizes the need for those
power plays.
power plays we talked about.
Exactly.
Everyone's aligned from the start.
And that's just the beginning. Another super important element is
Okay, what else?
something called psychological safety.
Psychological safety.
It's about creating an environment where everyone feels safe. Safe to express their ideas, without being judged.
Even if those ideas are a little
in there.
out there, unconventional.
Exactly. You want people to challenge the status quo.
So it's about fostering trust.
Trust, openness.
So everyone feels valued and empowered to contribute.
Precisely. And when people feel psychologically safe,
I take risks.
creative risks, they're not afraid to speak up.
Right, and that leads to...
More innovation, a richer, more diverse range of perspective.
This is really eye-opening. It's like
Yeah.
co-creation is about tapping into that
Collective intelligence.
collective intelligence of the team.
And that's something traditional collaboration often misses.
It does. It does. But I have a question.
Go for it.
Are there any, real-world examples of this? Has co-creation actually worked?
There are, actually. And Dennis gives a pretty surprising example.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs. That's Steve Jobs.
One and only.
But he was the ultimate micromanager.
That's what most people think.
Right. So how does that fit in with co-creation?
Well, Dennis suggests that Jobs' intense involvement in product development
Okay.
wasn't actually about controlling every little detail.
It wasn't.
No, it was more about this,
Passionate desire.
yes,
Yeah.
to co-create alongside his team.
So it's he wasn't just, barking orders from the top.
Right, he was down in the trenches with them.
Getting his hands dirty.
Exactly, and that created a sense of
shared ownership.
Shared ownership, creative passion.
So they didn't feel micromanaged.
They felt like they were actually shaping the vision.
Wow, so it's like even something that's usually seen as negative,
like micromanagement,
can actually be a form of
co-creation
when it comes from the right place.
It's all about the intention.
And how it plays out within the team.
And that brings us to a framework that really embodies a lot of these co-creation principles.
Okay, what's that?
Agile methodologies.
Agile. We've come full circle.
It all connects.
I can definitely see how Agile aligns with everything we've been talking about.
Yeah, Agile is all about collaboration.
Continuous improvement.
And that shared commitment to delivering value.
So let's break down those specific elements of Agile.
Okay, let's do
that really reflect co-creation in action.
So first up, we have the shared product vision.
Shared product vision.
Which is central to both Agile and that sprint methodology we talked about.
Right, like Google Ventures.
Exactly. In Agile, the whole team worked together to define and understand the goal.
No one's left in the dark.
Everyone's aligned, working towards the same objective.
Just like we talked about, it minimizes those
conflicting agendas. And fosters that sense of collective purpose.
Love it. What else? What else is there?
Well, Agile also has a unique way of approaching user needs.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that.
Instead of jumping right into solutions, they use these things called user stories.
User stories.
But they're framed as questions.
Interesting.
To really explore those needs in depth.
So it's not about just, jumping to conclusions.
No, it's about understanding the why before the how.
I like that.
And that encourages the team to really dig deep.
Challenge those assumptions.
Exactly, and come up with more innovative solutions.
Solutions that are actually user-centric.
And that ties back to that questioning-focused thinking we talked about.
Right. That's a key principle of co-creation.
It is. So you see, co-creation isn't just some
abstract concept.
Yeah, it's a practical approach.
You can actually put it into practice.
And Agile provides the framework to do that.
It's about shifting those mindsets.
Adopting new practices.
To foster a more collaborative and creative environment.
And Agile facilitates this through those inclusive team meetings.
Like refinements.
Retrospectives.
Where everyone gets a chance to speak.
No matter their role, no matter their seniority.
It's about creating that safe space.
Where people feel comfortable sharing.
Knowing they'll be heard.
Exactly. And of course, we can't forget the Scrum Master.
Oh, the Scrum Master.
They're crucial in Agile.
They are.
They're like the facilitators.
The guides.
The guides, keeping everyone on track, making sure it's a truly co-creative environment.
They're like the conductors of the Agile orchestra.
I love that. Making sure everyone's in harmony.
Working towards that final, beautiful product symphony.
Haha, that's a great analogy. And to really wrap up all these key ingredients, Dennis actually provides a helpful checklist.
A checklist.
Right.
Nice.
At the end of his article.
So what's on the checklist? What are the essentials for successful co-creation?
Okay, so first and foremost, that shared vision.
Shared vision, gotta have it.
Everyone needs to be crystal clear on the goal.
Agreed.
Then, of course, psychological safety.
Can't forget that.
People need to feel safe, to share, to take risks.
Without judgment.
Exactly. And third,
number 3,
equal contributions.
Everyone has a voice.
Everyone gets to share, regardless of their position.
We're leveling that playing field.
Absolutely. And finally, and this is crucial.
Okay, the grand finale.
It's about taking those ideas and turning them into something tangible. Prototypes, concrete results.
So it's not just talking.
It's about
putting those ideas into action.
Exactly. Channeling that creative energy into something real.
Wow, this has been incredibly insightful.
It has, hasn't it?
I'm already thinking about how to apply these principles in my own work.
That's great. I'm glad it's sparking some ideas.
So, as we wrap up this part of our deep dive into collaboration versus co-creation, what's the key takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with?
Well, I think the most important thing to remember is that co-creation, it's more than just a buzzword.
Right.
It's a powerful approach to teamwork.
Powerful.
That can unlock some incredible potential.
Like what?
Like more innovative solutions, greater engagement.
And ultimately a more fulfilling work experience. It's about harnessing that collective genius of the team.
You got it. Creating an environment where everyone feels empowered to contribute.
To achieve that shared goal.
Exactly. And as Dennis reminds us at the end of his article, this shift towards co-creation, it really challenges us to rethink our traditional roles within teams.
Ooh, I like that. Rethink our roles.
He poses this really thought-provoking question.
Let's hear it.
If everyone is a designer, what does that mean for your role in collaborative projects?
Whoa, that's deep.
It is, isn't it?
It suggests that everyone has the potential to be creative.
Exactly. Regardless of their job title.
It's like democratizing design.
Yes. Breaking down those silos.
And recognizing that everyone has something valuable to contribute.
And that shift in perspective, it can be incredibly liberating for both individuals and teams.
It's about shared ownership, responsibility,
leading to greater engagement, motivation,
and that more fulfilling work experience we talked about.
That's the goal.
So as we move on to the next part of our deep dive,
okay,
I hope you're all starting to see things a little differently.
New perspective.
And gain a newfound appreciation for the power of co-creation.
It's a game changer.
It is. It is. All right, we'll be back in a moment to continue our exploration of co-creation.
Can't wait.
So stay tuned.
Oh.
All right, so we're back.
Back at it.
And we were just talking about Steve Jobs.
Yeah, quite the figure, huh?
Definitely not who I'd picture when I think of,
co-creation.
Co-creation.
Right. But that's the thing about this whole deep dive.
It challenges our assumptions.
It does.
So you were saying that Jobs is,
intense involvement.
Yeah, his intense.
It wasn't really about being a control freak.
No.
Not in the traditional sense.
Okay, so explain that.
Well, Dennis suggests it was more about passion, a real desire to create something amazing.
And he wanted to be part of that process?
Every step of the way, alongside his team.
So it wasn't about
dictating from on high.
It was about
rolling up his sleeves.
Getting in the trenches.
With the team.
Yep.
And that fostered a sense of
ownership.
Yeah, everyone felt invested.
They weren't just following orders.
They were shaping the vision together.
Exactly. And this is where that idea of micromanagement gets flipped on its head.
Because it wasn't about control.
It was about co-creation, fueled by that shared passion.
So even something that's typically seen as,
negative,
can actually be positive.
When it comes from the right place.
When it's about genuine collaboration.
And that brings us to a framework that
really embodies these principles.
Agile methodology.
Agile. It all comes together.
It does. Agile is all about,
iteration, collaboration.
Constant improvement, delivering value.
And at its core, it aligns perfectly with co-creation.
So let's break down those specific elements of Agile.
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty.
That really showcase co-creation in action.
So first up, we have that shared product vision.
Shared product vision.
Just like in the sprint methodology.
Everyone's on the same page.
Working towards a common goal.
Which minimizes those
conflicting agendas
and creates a sense of unity.
Exactly. And then there's how Agile tackles user needs.
Yeah, they don't just jump into solutions,
right? They use user stories.
User stories, those are key.
But framed as questions.
Questions.
To really dive deep into those needs.
So it's about understanding the problem.
Before jumping to the solution.
Which encourages
exploration, challenging assumptions.
Leading to more innovative solutions.
Solutions that actually meet the user's needs.
And that ties back to
questioning focused thinking.
Another core principle of co-creation.
It all connects.
So Agile isn't just a framework.
It's a mindset shift.
It's about creating that environment.
Where co-creation can flourish.
And that's where those inclusive team meetings come in.
Refinements, retrospectives.
Everyone gets a chance to speak.
No matter their role.
And the Scrum Master.
They're crucial.
Guiding the team.
Ensuring that co-creative environment.
Like the guardians of the process.
Making sure everything runs smoothly.
And Dennis, in his article, he actually offers
a checklist.
For successful co-creation.
To help you bring it all together.
So what's on the list?
All right, so first and foremost.
The most important ingredient.
That shared vision we keep talking about.
You gotta have that common goal.
Then psychological safety.
Creating that safe space.
Where everyone feels comfortable sharing.
Essential for innovation.
And then equal contributions.
Everyone has a voice at the table.
No matter their seniority.
Leveling the playing field.
And finally, this is key.
The action step. Turning those ideas into
tangible results,
prototypes, actual outcomes. It's about moving beyond just talking.
It's about doing, creating something real.
This has been so insightful.
Glad you're finding it helpful.
I'm already thinking about how to apply these principles in my own team.
That's the spirit. It's about taking these ideas
and putting them into practice.
Experimenting, seeing what works.
So what are your final thoughts on all of this?
Well, I think the key takeaway is that co-creation,
Yeah,
it's not just a trendy term.
it's more than a buzzword.
It's a fundamental shift in how we approach teamwork.
Leading to better outcomes
More engaged teams.
and ultimately a more fulfilling work experience. And Dennis, he ends his article with this really thought-provoking question.
I love that question.
It really gets you thinking.
He does.
He asks, if everyone is a designer, what does that mean for your role in collaborative projects?
Powerful, right.
It is. It suggests that everyone has the potential to contribute to the design process.
Regardless of their job title.
It's about breaking down those traditional silos.
Recognizing that everyone has something valuable to offer.
And that shift in perspective.
It can be so empowering.
So both individuals and teams.
Absolutely. It fosters ownership, responsibility.
And that leads to greater engagement.
Motivation, and a more fulfilling experience.
Which is what we all want, right?
Exactly. At the end of the day, it's about creating a work environment.
Where everyone thrives.
Where everyone feels valued and empowered to contribute.
And where we can achieve truly amazing things together.
That's the power of co-creation.
I love it. All right, we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And we'll be right back to wrap up our deep dive into collaboration versus co-creation. Stay tuned.
It really is all about creating that environment where everyone feels like they can contribute.
Right. And Dennis, he wraps up his article with this kind of powerful question.
Oh, yeah. The one about
designers.
If everyone's the designer, what does that mean for you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it really got me thinking, like, it challenges us to rethink those traditional roles, you know?
It does. Like, we often put people in boxes.
Right. Like, you're the developer, you're the marketer.
But co-creation says
Everyone has something to offer.
everyone can contribute to the design process.
Whether you're, brainstorming ideas.
Or giving feedback.
Or even just, like, asking the right questions.
It's about breaking down those barriers.
Recognizing that good ideas
can come from anywhere.
and that diversity of thought.
It leads to better solutions.
More innovative, more creative.
And that shift in perspective.
It can be pretty powerful.
It is. It's
Innovative
empowering.
for everyone involved.
It creates a sense of ownership.
Responsibility.
Everyone feels invested in the outcome.
And that leads to greater engagement.
Motivation, and ultimately a more fulfilling experience for everyone.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into collaboration versus co-creation,
Yeah.
I hope you're walking away with a fresh perspective.
New tools for your teamwork toolbox.
And a deeper understanding of how co-creation can really transform the way you work.
It's about unlocking that collective potential.
Embracing those diverse perspectives.
And creating something truly amazing together.
So stay curious. Keep exploring these ideas.
And remember, everyone's a designer in their own way.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
And until next time, keep diving deep into the knowledge that inspires you.